Hi, my name is Gilad Spatalnik. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a very quick, simple fire that you can use for Lag BaOmer. For building the fire, we're going to have wood. And there are different types of wood depending on what kind of fire or how big you want to build it. We're going to kind of go through the basics. You've got to have thick pieces of wood like so. That will be able to give you more lasting. So if you're building it in your house, you definitely, in your garden, you definitely want to be having those kind of pieces of wood to be able to last longer than a couple of seconds. Those are the kind of wood that you can buy at a petrol station. I'm pretty sure you can get them now. And you want to have that kind of wood. You also want to have then smaller pieces, because as we build the fire actually has to catch. It's not going to catch that quickly with thick pieces like that. It'll actually catch in more of a smaller, the smaller pieces, but you've got to get them smaller and smaller. This would be the next level, down to these thin pieces here, all the way to these tiny little twigs. And eventually you actually have to start off with what we call a bird's nest. What you also would need for the building of your fire is some fire lighters and matches. As I was saying before, this kind of fire can be made whether you're doing in a patch of garden, like something like this, where you just take an area. Ideally it would be to make some bricks to corner the area off. It can be done in a wok, like the one I've got over here. It can even be done in a small tin pan like so. Obviously we're talking about different sizes, so something in this would be a very small. The important aspect when making your fire is to make sure that you always have your firewood ready by the fire. So this is my wood pile for my fire. I come and I'm going to check, and a simple way to find out whether wood is wet is you literally snap it. If it snaps like easy, then it's dry. If it does, like it's all sticky and it doesn't snap properly, like this piece here, and it's still stuck to it, then there's still wet wood inside of it. So I've got my pieces over here. We're going to be making a small fire. And go to the fire pit. And now it's about how to build the fire. So the first thing I do is I put my bird's nest, and I'm going to build everything around my bird's nest. I take my sticks and I build it. This is the structure that I use to build my fire. 2 sticks next to, 2 sticks above, another 2 sticks above that. Actually bring that in closer. And that's my basic structure. Basically what that allows is airflow coming in from these 2 sides, and a place where the fire is going to take place. I'm going to put my bit of fire lighter in the middle over there, and then I'm going to start taking my smaller or thicker sticks, putting them on the sides as such. Okay, and then I'm going to take my next step, my even thinner sticks, so you put them, actually go in, so it'll go in front of them, and then have the thicker sticks next to it. The thicker sticks go over here. I then still have ready are my really thick sticks and my logs ready to go on. Now comes the part which I guess is the fun part, the lighting of it. I'm going to get my son Adiel to light the fire over here. Say hello. Light the fire. As he lights the fire, I'm going to put the thin pieces on first, and the thicker pieces on top of that. As you can see, it's dry wood burning very quickly, and as you're building this, just be careful of the fact that it is a hot fire. Once those are going, I'm going to then put on my 2 thicker pieces. 2 thicker pieces as such. So I'm getting in the line of smoke right here. And once I've done this, I'm actually just going to make like a little, close to a teepee style, with the thicker pieces of wood. Don't even need it. There you go, and that's a fire. That's going to take a few minutes, and it'll catch into a big fire. Now, as that keeps burning, all I just got to keep on doing is putting on the thicker logs around it to be able to get that fire to continue burning. Now, the exact same fire can be made in a pan, and I'm going to show you how you do that. So doing it in the pan is no different. What I take is I've got the small pan, I've got in the middle my bird's nest, which can be anything, any dry grass or dry twigs, anything that catches quickly but it'll burn from the bottom up. I've made my 4 square to get the airflow coming in from the top. I've got my small sticks on the side, and I will do the exact same thing here. I take the sticks and then the smaller sticks, take a piece of fire lighter, put it in the middle, and here I would use the biggest sticks I would use to burn would be this size stick. Obviously, the moment you got anything bigger, you've got a bigger problem because it'll go quite high. Now, this is something you could do on a veranda in a flat, very simply. It won't get so big, and you can enjoy your Lag BaOmer. The same thing is how you can build it in a braai as well as in a wok, or anything that doesn't burn. Just to look at the fire we made going here. Here we have our little fire using that simple method. If your fire gets too big, don't get too afraid, don't get panicked. Just make sure that when you're making your fire, you've got water or sand close by that you can just actually drop onto the fire. Make sure that there's a safety around the fire.